If you build it, they will come, and they will go big. The Great Plains of North America lie in wait for man and machine. Freeride motocross soaring to new heights. This is imagination, and you are watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
You got a little, you can use much more. Passion. Passion. Blow my mind. Blow my mind. Blow my mind. Blow my mind.
Hi friends, Salema Masakela here, your host of the Red Bull Signature Series, and allow me to welcome you to an undisclosed location near Fort Scott, Kansas, aptly named Imagination. The vision and creation of this project comes from the mind of 8-time X Games medalist Tyler Bereman. Out of his imagination, he envisioned and dreamed up a course the likes as which has never been seen before. Teaming up with the legendary track builder Jason Baker, the vision has come to life, and this is what we see today. An assortment of 45 freestyle features, including massive jumps, one with a blind landing over a row of towering trees, berms, a shipping container, and a quarter pipe. There are only a select few who compete at this level of FMX, but an even more finite group that can handle a course of this magnitude, as some of the jumps will launch the riders 140 feet horizontally and 55 feet into the sky. They include Colby Raha, Cole Seeley, Tom Parsons, Vicky Golden, Ryan Sipes, Darren Durham, and of course, the man from whom his imagination this dream materialized, Tyler Bereman. With only 3 days to get them familiar with a course of this scope, the riders were up to the task of moving from sessioning to today's competition format. The only limitations with this project, as with most, is Mother Nature. As long as the winds that sweep across the Great Plains remain calm and show mercy, we are sure to witness something truly special today. For the call, we're turning it over to Jack Nichols and the legend, Grant Langston.
Thank you, Sal. We are really looking forward to this competition today, and this is how it's going to be judged. Each rider will get 2 runs on the course, and their best score of the 2 will be the one that counts. The judges are going to be looking at the way the riders use the course, their speed and fluidity, amplitude, and the tricks they pull. Who better than Tyler Bereman to introduce us to this course straight from his imagination?
Freeriding doesn't really have a platform. It's basically just us out there creating content on our own. I want to do something with this project that's never been seen before. Let these riders have an expression session to showcase their creativity and style in a completely new environment. So much of our freeriding takes place in California and Utah, so let's go somewhere new and unexpected. Why not Kansas? All right, let's see what this thing could look like. This right here next to the tower, that could be the start-finish line. I definitely want to have a fun box somewhere, so let's drop a 40-foot container in right here. You can manual the top or wall ride each side. This back jib section will let riders do whatever they want. It's a blank canvas. Then we'll definitely need a quarter pipe that leads here and then over the hill into the next section. Yeah. And then shark fin out into a dirt half pipe down the hill that you can air out on both sides. I mean, I'd for sure ride this. Let's see if anyone else will.
This huge course took DreamTrack's building crew 20 days to construct, an unbelievable 45 built-in features with over 50,000 cubic yards of dirt moved. Let's go on to the course itself, where Tina Dixon is at the daunting quarter pipe.
And Jack, all the athletes told me this course is much bigger than what they expected, especially the features including this quarter pipe, which is right behind me. Now, from where I'm standing to the top of that lip, that measures 31.5 feet. Now, the riders are expected to go about 30 feet above that lip. So you add that up, that's over 60 feet, about a 6-story building. But the nice thing about this quarter pipe is longer landing, more transition. That allows for the riders to go bigger, and for us, it's more exciting to watch.
Well, here's the start list with the order determined by the riders picking numbers in a lottery. Unfortunately, already out are Darren Durham and Vicky Golden through injury, but the man who will be getting the action underway is Ryan Sipes. The legendary motocross racer is taking on some of the best freestyle motocross riders for the first time, Grant.
Well, Ryan Sipes has been known to do it all on 2 wheels, but this is going to be something different, a little out of his element, but let's see what the general can do today.
Against all these dudes, it's not like I'm have any expectation of winning or anything like that. But if I can go out there and just put in clean runs and nail everything and basically leave there going, I did it. I did with the best of them. I did what they did. I was able to pull it off, to learn it. I'd be super stoked. I mean, that's the goal with all of it, is like, if I can compete with the people that are already good at it, like the people that do it all the time, if I can step in and just compete right away, like that's what I live for.
Okay, well, Sipes is about to drop in for his first run, our first look at this course, but despite being a legend, Grant, Sipes is just up for doing anything these days, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is. We've seen him in a couple different events of late. We saw him cramping up in the woods of Tennessee, doing the Tennessee knockout, but this, a lot of air time. And as I mentioned, Sipes in his latter 30s, so for him, really impressed to see him out here giving this a shot.
Okay, well, we will pick out some of the major parts of this course as we go around for the first time with Ryan Sipes. Some of the smaller features first of all, then we'll get onto the bigger jumps. There's a 140-foot long jump. There's one that's a blind one over some trees. Going to be fascinating to see what he can do. He says that he hasn't ridden sort of for fun freestyle like this for a long, long time.
Oh, that was a beautiful whip right there. You saw Sipes getting it really flat and straight off the bat, using this sort of supercross section, obviously something he's a little more familiar with, over the container. Nice little container right there, and then one of the bigger jumps on the back part of the track. Sipes gets it nice and sideways. Remember, the wind is pretty brutal out there at the moment, so that's going to make any of these normal tricks just that much harder for these guys.
Great early stuff here from Sipes. Fascinating to see what he can do up against these way more experienced free riders, and there is the blind launch over the trees. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, huge jump for Sipes right there. A lot of riders very intimidated. Really hard when you can't see the landing. Nice little whip off to the side. We'll see. He uses the half pipe or the quarter pipe landing, but not the takeoff. Sipes obviously not very familiar with that sort of more of a freestyle obstacle, but really enjoying the moto sort of obstacles in the middle. Another big jump there with a crosswind. Didn't do a whole lot. And also Ryan Sipes, not a freestyle rider, so where he will probably lack a little bit is in the trick department. But when you talk about speed and just being fluid on the motorcycle, that's what this guy's known for.
This is the second half of the course, which is a little bit more technical, little bit more like a motocross track that Sipes will be used to. He's still getting good air and good amplitude, but I think he knows he's not going to be fighting the hardcore freestyle riders for the win here, but still having a good run out there, nice and fluid and smooth, which is one of the things that the judges are going to be looking for.
Oh, absolutely. You watch him, he's getting the downsides of these jumps very clean, getting in and out of the corners nicely. He's been able to get the bike pretty sideways in both directions, and you see right now, trying to be a little creative, hitting some of the sides of the jumps, going across. Oh, a little nose wheelie there as a drone goes flying by, giving us some great camera angles.
And this is part of the course designer's plan as he comes up towards the finish line now, is there's so many ways to attack these jumps. You can go off the side, you can go the traditional front way. Fascinating stuff, and Sipes comes across the line then to finish his run. Neat, tidy, clean stuff, exactly what you'd expect from him, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly. You saw that nice whip right off the bat, that nice hip jump to the right there, a more straight up and down whip, and then you see here on the shipping container, nice little power wheelie there, little style and creativity, and once again, a nice whip, but going in the opposite direction. So Ryan Sipes showing some versatility over the big finish line there. You can see there is some crosswind, the jersey's blowing, but still a decent score for Sipes.
85 then for Ryan Sipes. The score's out of 100. He's the current leader out of the one rider that's gone so far. And I think he enjoyed that, didn't he? Looks fairly satisfied after that first run.
How was that? Dude, I'm actually pretty stoked on it. I didn't get everything perfect how I wanted. Like, the wind's a little tricky, but I cranked it on a few of them, so I'm pretty stoked. I hit my lines. I didn't really come up short, stuff like that, and I made it. I made it through one of them.
Tyler Bereman's vision has come to life, and now he must prove himself by competing against the best freestyle motocross riders to ever take on a course of this magnitude. His first of 2 runs when we return. You're watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series. This is Imagination from the Great Plains of Kansas near Fort Scott. It is a special moment when an athlete's vision can come to life, staring out an untouched piece of land and seeing the potential to create an unprecedented course. Across 18 acres, over 19 days, a crew of 5 heavy equipment operators with 12 different machines at their disposal moved 50,000 cubic yards of dirt. For comparison, that is just over 3,500 fully loaded concrete mixer trucks or 250,000 bathtubs. To say that it is an incredible undertaking does not do this course justice.
If you're gonna think the baddest freeride course on earth, where is it gonna be? You'd never think middle of Kansas. This is just out of the ordinary. This is something that no one's ever seen, and it's remote. The first time I came out here and did the site check, it was like, look at this place.
Tyler and I literally just came out to the tower, scratching on some graph paper and coming up with ideas.
Being here with Jason and building and stuff for 3 weeks, we've been in the equipment every day, basically sun up to sundown. I cannot thank Jason Baker and the whole Dream Tracks crew enough because it's absolutely exceeded all my expectations. It's my dream course on steroids.
When I got the invite, I was like so stoked to get here.
I scrambled, got a bunch of stuff together, and hopped in the van.
I expected this to be one of the biggest challenges of the year.
It's like 4 football fields worth of jumps, so it's like, where do you start?
It's bigger than I expected. And when you walk it, you go, all right, it's big, and then you jump it, it's really big.
You can't even grasp how big these jumps are.
I think the most intimidating jump is probably the tree jump.
The tree jump.
That jump over the trees is insane.
You're completely blind. You take off the lip, and you're in the air for 2 seconds before you see where you're gonna land, and you don't know if you're gonna make it yet. Vicky did it before any of the guys too, so hats off to her.
I've seen a lot of courses, I've ridden a lot of courses, but I've never seen one alive from the ground up. I was pumped that I was able to guinea pig this course.
One little mistake, if you go a little too long, like these jumps are no joke. Follow Tyler in and get rid of the guessing game, and we're all having fun.
Can't wait to see it go down and just watch what happens, because I think this blank canvas, there's guys out there that they've got some pretty creative lines and use of the course, so the judges have their work cut out for them.
A really fascinating story of how this whole course has come together over the last 3 weeks here in Kansas. And Bereman is about to drop in competition for the first time. But where does the inspiration for the imagination come from?
Some of these features that you'll see out there, I'm inspired by features that I see everywhere. So some of these 5th gear jumps that you see out in the dunes of Glamis, or these short, steep transitions and hips that you find out in the hills of Beaumont, or track inspiration stuff of supercross style sections, to just kind of taking all these features from multiple places and putting them all together, and then adding in some flair in there, like a fun box, a container for a fun box, and wall rides and stuff like that. So just trying to take inspiration from multiple places and try to just add them all together.
Dropping. And here he goes then. Tyler Bereman, the man behind this course, drops in for his first run in competition. He's been the guinea pig for this course, and he initially thought, Grant, that the other riders would think it was unfair that he would build this course and be practicing the whole time. Actually, the other riders are pretty glad that he was the one test riding it.
Yeah, well, Tyler has a great amount of creativity right there. Nice whip where he really lags into it. Very unique. Now you see him switching up the course a little bit, trying some different lines that we saw from Sipes a little bit earlier.
Great stuff from Bereman then in these early stages. What's he going to do on the container? We saw the wheelie on it from Sipes, and similar from Bereman as he comes over. Oh, and then a nose wheelie as well off the other end of it.
Oh, that was nice. Nice whip there, different direction from that earlier one that we see off that first big hip that goes to the right-hand side. He takes a little deep breath there, heading back up towards some of the bigger jumps, and oh, that was beautiful.
Oh.
Flat and sideways. That will get the judges' attention right there.
Over the trees, and now we're going to see Bereman on the quarter pipe for the first time, using the ramp on the right-hand side, 60 foot in the air, nails the landing.
Oh, that was lovely. Bereman gets a lot of height over that, which is what the judges love. The one-hander, kind of his signature move, and he actually used the quarter pipe, one of the few doing it, so that helps out in the overall score big time.
Over the 140-foot jump, lands that one as well. Really nice stuff this from Bereman as he comes on to now the more technical part of the course, the more motocross style section. And he first started thinking about this concept about 3 years ago. It was based on mountain biking, free riding. Thought, wouldn't it be cool to do that with bikes? Then found this site about 18 months ago. And here we are, and he is really showing us how much fun he has on his bike.
Well, Bereman, we could argue, is probably the perfect person to design a course like this. He's got a free riding background, a motocross background. He's done X Games, quarter pipe, and not bad with the tricks as well. So a discipline that really suits him. And as he mentioned earlier, this is what these guys love, just being creative right there, from one lane to the other. It's like going out of the Supercross practice track, and when you're bored out of your mind, you start being creative and go from one lane to the other.
Here he comes then up to the final jump. Really nice run that from Tyler Bereman. Finishes it with a beautiful whip. And that is going to get good scores from the judges, I would have thought. Very neat all the way around. Big, big height and some really well executed tricks.
That's that lag whip that he has where the front end goes high. Then a nice flat one with a leg out. Little Ricky Carmichael-esque from back in the day of moto. And then going in the opposite direction, look at that. The rear wheel above the head. So Bereman, solid run there. Got everything in. Then watch this. This will give you a great shot. Look at that upside down one-hander. 6 stories up in the sky. Perfect landing. Nails that beautifully. Solid run.
And it's a 91 for Tyler Bereman.
Heck yeah, first place out of 2. We got 4 more to go though, so.
Bereman's 91 is the score to beat, but 8-time X Games medalist Colby Raha is about to take his first of 2 runs here in Kansas. You're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series from outside Fort Scott, Kansas for Imagination. The top freestyle motocross competitors have come to the Heartland for a massive course, including 45 built-in features to ride their dream line. Ryan Sipes and Tyler Bereman have already run, and next up is Colby Raha, who is looking forward to one of the highlights of this course.
The quarter pipe's something new for moto. It's been in the game, I think, 3 or 4 years now. A lot of guys are scared to hit it because it's dangerous and it's pretty gnarly to commit to doing it. I've had some success in the high air quarter pipe with X Games and Nitro and stuff. But for here, we're not doing high air. It's all part of our run and creativity. And I've got a couple tricks on it, so I'll be trying those tricks and trying to bring that creative part to quarter pipe for this event. We'll see how the judges like that mixed in with the run, and hopefully it's exciting to watch.
So Colby Raha about to drop in. 91 is the score to beat from Tyler Bereman so far. We'll see what he can do. He's a very experienced rider. Drops in now. This is going to be a big, big run, I think.
Yeah, Colby Raha, known for going big. If you want to look up going big on a run, there'll be a picture of this guy right next to it. He likes his free riding. Beautiful whip right off the bat. He also has a lot of tricks in the bag, so expect him to bust a few out. That'll help him in that scoring department. Maybe his weakness is not a supercross sort of background. Nice no-hander off that double. Into a can-can. Some nice creativity so far, and then a beautiful knack-knack, so really getting some variety in so far.
Yeah, we saw that Tyler Bereman was mainly doing the whips, and very good whips, don't get me wrong, but as you say, a bit of variety, a wheelie all the way over the container as well. So this is nice, good stuff, a bit of a Superman as he comes over that jump.
you could actually hear him in the air there from our drone, little commentary from Colby himself. Nice, like you said, Superman. But that was also a good ride along the container. He got onto it very early, wheelied the entire thing. Nice whip over that, big double. Again, throwing the bike in the opposite direction and then over the big tree gap there. Very intimidating. And this is his specialty coming up right here.
Up to the quarter pipe then. 60 foot in the air once more. Oh, gets the leg off.
Oh, that was huge. A nice knack while almost upside down. Different camera angle will really show you how gnarly that just was. So Colby Raha so far, this has been a great run for him.
Says he's living the dream at the moment as he comes over this 140 footer. Whoa, that was close. Just got away with that.
That might have been the win that was a factor. He probably thought, hey, I don't want to get it sideways, whipping it over this jump because of the wind. I'll just do a no-foot can. All of a sudden, it looked like he couldn't get his legs back around. So Colby Raha had a very interesting moment there, but pulls it off.
That's a bit more what he was going for, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. For good measure, he figured, I'll show you I can go both ways now in one jump. So great job from him.
Said he got tired of spending all of his money trying to be a motocross racer and then ended up doing some free riding and just loved it and now enjoys riding all the time. He's coming up into the final sequence of this course, and this is the part that you said he might be a little bit weaker on technically.
Well, I just figured with him having a lot of freestyle tricks, the moto section, you see the moto guys getting a little more creative. He's taking a more traditional line as he heads towards the finish line.
Finishes it beautifully over the line, and that is a good run from Colby Raha. We'll see what the judges reckon, but we saw a lot more tricks from him compared to Tyler Bereman in particular.
Yeah, that's more of his background. You saw a nice variety there. Hands behind the back, suicide no-hander. He had a couple double can-cans, no-footed can-cans, and then again, able to get that bike totally sideways, upside down. Just a nice motocross-style whip, and then watch this. Upside down, 6 stories in the air, fully extended knack. That is unbelievable. Pulls it back down, and look how he just catches the top of that landing. Very clean.
Superb stuff from Colby Raha. That is a 95, and that moves him to the top of the leaderboard. Tina, over to you.
And Colby had a lot of variation in that run. A 95, what a start for you. You were able to pull things off, especially off of that 140.
Yeah, it's definitely windy, and going off that one, that's the one you feel it the most. And I figured probably not a good idea to whip off of it, so I did a can, but that was almost not a good idea either. My foot got caught coming back, and I rode down like in the berm with like basically side saddle. But yeah, stoked to pull it the whole first run. Actually went better than I thought, and we'll see for second run if I have to, figure something else out. But yeah.
You did mention a backflip earlier when we talked to you.
Yeah, I can flip. I just haven't flipped in a while, so if I have to, I'll bust it out. I probably will bust it out anyways, just because I think it'd be lame of me not to. So we'll see.
Still 95. Way to start things out.
Thank you.
So Raha is our new leader, but when we return, former factory Honda rider Cole Seeley came out of retirement for his shot at the Imagination course. You're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series here in America's heartland. This is Imagination, and Cole Seeley, currently sitting in third, heads to the start line for his second run. The general, Ryan Sipes, just dropped his second run moments ago, Grant.
Yeah, Sipes had a great run again, just solid, consistent. Just came here and didn't expect too much out of himself, but what's been lovely to see is he's pushed himself in areas that maybe he didn't imagine. You heard the riders talking about just how big these jumps were. I got to imagine the intimidation factor was huge, but Sipes, 2 solid runs, very consistent, very smooth, nothing too flashy, but great job from the general.
Sipes remains in 4th place. Next up is 30-year-old Cole Seeley. An 88 in his first run has him lying in 3rd. He's fairly new to this discipline of riding, but he's a man with a lot of experience.
Yeah, so I raced 11 professional seasons, Supercross and Motocross. I rode for American Honda, which is one of the most prestigious teams you can ride for. I did pretty much every event you can compete in as far as Motocross and Supercross goes, from, our normal set schedule to overseas races in Switzerland and Paris, and race for our country in London. So I've definitely done a lot in my career in the racing side of things, and now that I've retired, I'm just looking for the fun side and kind of reinventing myself as a rider.
So Cole Seely about to drop in. He got 88 in his first run, needs to be up into the mid-90s really if he wants to challenge Bereman and Raha, who have still got a second run to come.
Well, Cole Seely, obviously, if you look at that, the speed and fluidity part he has got from his Supercross background, former winner, loves free riding, said he got burnt out on motocross a little bit because of the training aspect. I feel like this is something that he really enjoys and will thrive at. Maybe his weakness is the freestyle tricks on their own, but Cole Seely is really good with his timing as well. You'll notice he'll absolutely grease the backside of these landings time and time again. A nice knack, one of the few guys that does it in that direction. Oh, and off the side of the container. So Seely trying to be a little creative, maybe from his moto background where the guys at the test track get burned out, and they try and find where you can go from one lip to another landing on another lane. Nice sideways again there over that decent sized jump. So Seely's shown us he can whip to the right, to the left. And with this wind, these guys are doing an exceptional job because, of course, at some time the headwind will be straight in front of you. Other times it's from the side or from behind. That also affects how fast or how slow you have to hit these takeoffs.
Good stuff this from Cole Seely. How much of a factor is the wind in its unpredictability? Like sometimes do you not know until you're in the air where the wind's going to be coming from each time?
Ooh, well, on a jump like that, absolutely. You're going over the trees and the wind swirls a little bit. Let's see what Cole Seely does. Well, he doubles in by this quarter pipe into the landing, but not physically using the quarter pipe that we did see from Bereman and Raha, but Cole using the jumps more. So losing in some areas, but I feel like really utilizing different parts. Look at this, jumps into the landing of the quarter pipe. So nice work here from Seely, trying to use the entire course and using where he's strong to his advantage.
Seely now gaining speed to the 140-foot jump. This is the big, long one on the course. Gets nice height there.
Yeah, using the wind, it's obviously coming from the side, so whipping it towards the wind, letting the wind bring the bike back. Now we get into the section where he's probably very comfortable. Oh, jumps over the berm. Oh, I like that. Pretty fast. He skipped out the middle piece, now coming back around in the opposite direction. So you can tell these riders, they've done a run. Now they're trying to be different. Oh, look at that. From a landing to the backside of a takeoff. Seely, like I said, won't kill it in the trick department, but doing so good in the moto section. Almost looks like it's just another day out at the track for him, but this time around he's not racing the stopwatch. He's just having fun, being creative. And from the wind, you can tell the course is drying out, so the takeoffs and landings get a little more slipperier. It's harder to really throw the bike around, manhandle it. But Seely getting his money's worth. He's used this section multiple times. There was a time limit put in place, but 5 minutes is plenty of time for these guys to get everything they want in.
So here comes Seely after that run towards the finish line now. Nice stuff, a different style that we see from Bereman and Raha, but we'll see how it plays with the judges. Really, really interesting his use of the course and the different routes he was taking all around.
Yeah, that's another one of those whips where you get the front wheel high and outside. On the side of the container here, that's a vertical wall right there. Able to ride it. And then here, just flat off to the right-hand side, leaning that machine over. And in here, you see, using the wind, turns the bike, catches that wind, straightens it back out. So making the most of it over those big jumps. Very hard to do anything technical.
So that's a 90.5 for Cole Seely. That leaves him in third place. And with the final two left to go, who will be the inaugural Imagination champion? Current leader Colby Raha or the visionary behind this event, Tyler Bereman? When we return, Bereman drops in for his second run. You're watching the Red Bull Signature Series. Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series. This is Imagination. From an undisclosed location near the Kansas-Missouri border, a freestyle motocross course of this magnitude has never been seen before. Just 2 runs remain before we crown an inaugural champion. Colby Raha has the lead on 95. Tyler Bereman is second after his first run with 91. So that is the score to beat. He's about to drop in. This is a big moment for him, Grant.
Oh, absolutely. Put his name behind this event. Of course, he got other athletes involved. They all enjoy this course. They love the obstacles. But of course, for Bereman, he wants to win, and he's got to figure out how to beat Raha. And between runs, he spent at least an hour just staring out at the course, trying to figure out what he could do differently. Let's see if he brings anything new to the second run. Remember, they don't have to follow the exact course. They can be creative. Will they throw in something different?
Still getting huge height and big whips there.
Well, you can tell now that they got that first run out of the way. He's starting to crank that bike over a little bit more. Oh, and look at that. We haven't seen that all day long. Goes completely over the container jump. I mean, that is massive. Doesn't even touch it. Talk about going for it with a completely blind landing. So Bereman bringing it. He's having a little breather once again. That's his corner. Probably trying to figure out what he's going to bring in this next section. Oh, that was massive. Like I said, he's feeling comfortable with the win now. I think he knows what it's going to make this motorcycle do, and he is really working it hard.
Huge jump over the trees and almost an exhale of relief having made it the other side. This is his trademark up at the quarter pipe.
Oh, that was huge. That was... I wish we had a little foot meter to figure out exactly how high he went, but I got to imagine compared to Raha, that might have been a little bit high. He really committed, landed deep into that one, and then a nice big whip. Oh, he is definitely throwing out all the stops on this one.
So Tyler Bereman, the man who designed this course, is really working hard to try and take the victory. 95 is the score he needs to beat to win with a shot. Now he's into the more technical motocross section towards the end of the course.
Yeah, throwing in a few freestyle tricks. Let's see if he tries to mix things up a little bit. I do think that he's got more in the bag as far as creativity goes. He's already shown us on the first half of this run, he's just gotten his tricks a little bit better. The whips a little more flatter, a little more extension, a little more intensity, and now working these jumps. Looks like he's eyeing up something here. We're going to see some of these crossover lanes coming. Oh, yeah, nice big jump crossover. That is extremely difficult. Doesn't look that tough when you watch from the landing side, and you can see the way the dust keeps blowing off into the distance. There's a massive crosswind these guys are dealing with, but Bereman feeling comfortable at the moment.
Some of these riders were saying that this course is so long that you don't actually have much chance to practice each individual element very much.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you heard how long it took to build it. Imagine how long it took to figure out just to get over these jumps and get your timing. Once you get the basic jumps down, now you're trying to be creative. Go across lanes, all different, and all the while, the wind continues to swirl and change. So how hard do you hit it? Bereman looks like he's coming in for another crossover jump. I think the judges are going to love this. One of the few that's really crossing over the middle section. Saw a little bit of that from Cole Seeley. But the other thing that's also easy to happen for these riders is to get lost on the course. Where you're at, what are you going to do next? You don't want to be idling around, not really doing anything either.
It's like he's designed this whole course and then on this second run is designing a whole nother course on top of the course he just designed.
Yeah, I think that might have been pre-planned as well. These guys are pretty creative. They know what they like. They see what they see. And as he comes to the finish line, that was a nice run there. Oh, a little kick there from Bereman in the wind there. That wasn't expected.
Well, he absolutely sent that, didn't he? Tyler Bereman on his second run. 95 is the score he needs to beat to be in with a chance of beating Raha. And there he was, clearing that container fully.
Oh, yeah, well over 100 feet. That's a 40-foot container. It goes high up in the sky. And then, once again, not afraid of this quarter pipe. Look at that amplitude. That is way up there. And he's so smooth on his landings, like butter. I think the judges will take notice of that. And, of course, the big air jumps and that unique turn-down whip that he has. I think that was a solid all-round run.
Oh, man, I'm just glad I kept her on 2 right there. That was
97 is the score for Tyler Bereman. A really, really impressive run. He's the new leader. He's with Tina.
So second run in the books for Tyler, and the score of a 97 puts him in the lead. Seem pretty excited about that one. How do you compare that second run to the first one?
The first one, I kind of had an overshoot and in the middle of my run, and I kind of forgot where I was going to go. So that one, I kind of had my line dialed of where I knew I wanted to go, and saw a window with the wind and just went for it. So I ended up basically turning the east side of the course into a full skate park and all these transfers that I've been looking at. So that's what's cool about this contest. It's a new formula, and you can do whatever you want out there. It's basically a skate park, so it's whatever you see. There's no set run. There is a start and finish of the one line, but you can hit anything you want on the sides of the jumps to whatever. So just stoked. Everyone else is stoked on it, and yeah, I'm sitting in the lead, but got a couple gnarly days to go, so we'll see where we end up at the end.
Nice work out there. Thanks.
So Tyler Bereman moves to the lead. One more rider to run, Salema.
Thank you, Jack. Tyler Bereman adjusting his approach and utilizing his mastery of a course that came from his brain. Hits the transition sections perfectly. The judges respond by rewarding him with a 97. However, one rider remains, Colby Raha, who has shown no fear on these massive features and has promised to throw down a backflip in his second run. Who is going to be our inaugural Imagination champion? You gotta stick around to find out. You are watching the Red Bull Signature Series.
Welcome back to the Red Bull Signature Series for Imagination, the evolution of FMX. The Midwestern winds have finally died down over the plains of Kansas. New leader and the visionary behind this course, Tyler Bereman, just laid down a 97 to regain the lead. But one rider remains who can topple him from the top of the podium, Colby Raha, and he's starting his second and final run now, Grant.
Well, he did get a 95 in round 1, so very solid. I think if he can do a few of his tricks a little cleaner, maybe a little more intensity, and throw in that backflip, that might be what is enough to take this.
Very experienced rider. He did some BMX riding in the past as well. Did Colby Raha. And there's the backflip already.
Oh, he wasted no time on that one. You see that little finger point to the sky. He is happy. He did mention he hasn't done a flip in a while, and on a natural big jump in these winds, it makes it that much more difficult. Comes back around to do that opening section, comes up a little bit short on that jump. So first little mistake. The one thing he's got to be careful of, he's got that flip out of the way. Don't get lost in the course. Don't forget what the rest of your run's meant to be. He needs to be clean in order to get a better score.
Oh, the tricks are coming out now, aren't they, as he heads down towards the container. As you mentioned him coming up short earlier, one of the judges said that that's one of the benefits they hoped for them as he wheelies over the top of the container, is that it's such a long course, there will be these small mistakes that they can try and mark riders down on.
And speaking of judges, we have people on hand like Robbie Madison, Jeremy Twitch Stenberg, Ronnie Renner, all these guys with tons of freestyle experience and the best to judge these riders.
Good run this so far from Colby Raha. Now he's come up to that tree jump, gets huge, huge height again.
Yeah, but he's making some mistakes. Right there, you could tell, wasn't very comfortable. This is where he's really strong. Can he nail this quarter pipe? Look at that, upside down, knack. Lands very high up again. Probably a little too close for comfort, but Raha's got that backflip out of the way, but he's made a few mistakes. If the judges are really going to critique that, it's going to be really close for the win so far.
He's also not quite pulling the same tricks as we're seeing on some of those jumps, like on the big 140 there. He tried the can last time, didn't work out, so just a whip this time around.
Yeah, and in this section, he's lost a little bit of his speed and fluidity. And I'm just wondering if he didn't think so hard and long in the break about that backflip that he put all the focus on that and maybe lost a little concentration and maybe a little creativity on this part of the course as well.
Well, he was so stoked, wasn't he, when he pulled off the backflip? It's almost like that was the only thing he was going for in the whole run.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, believe me, I'm being very critical right now just because he was the leader coming into this run, but Bereman stepped it up. He did everything better, cleaner, bigger, and with more creativity. And with Colby, I'm seeing maybe not quite as clean a run, but add in the backflip, does that balance itself out? Then we argue, are we back at a 95 again? Nice finish.
Okay, across the line then comes Colby Raha. This is going to be a fascinating decision by the judges. That backflip was spectacular, and in general, it was a spectacular ride. 2 spectacular runs for Colby in this one, but it's all about what the judges have to say.
Yeah, was that backflip really worth extra points? Because the rest of it, maybe not quite as good as his first run, but that's huge right there.
Absolutely spectacular. And then this was the quarter pipe.
Without a doubt, he has just been the best at that all weekend long, but landed right at the top there.
And it's a 96 for Colby Raha. That is a second place finish for him. 97 for Tyler Bereman is enough to give him the inaugural Imagination title.
You got robbed.
The two congratulate each other.
That was fun, man.
Yeah, it was
Hey,
insane. Thank you.
proud
bro.
of you, dude.
Thank you for
You
having
got that
me,
was a tech jump to flip too, man.
Well, Bereman enjoyed the flip, but he's also going to enjoy the win. 97 to Colby Raha's 96. Cole Seeley in third, and Ryan Sipes completing the 4. Let's hear from our winner with Tina.
And for Tyler, it's really 2 wins. 1, the dream course was built. And 2, the judges awarded you for your interpretation of this course. How rewarding is that?
Yeah, first of all, just rewarding to be able to make my dream turn into a reality. Jason Baker with Dream Tracks obviously made a dream track out here. This is a mix between a supercross, freeride, BMX influence, motocross course. So to be able to have the whole line start to finish and then have all these options of features that you can jump from one lane to another. It's like a skate park over here. So my main thing, I just wanted to showcase all the options and the possibilities that could go down on something like this. So it was a win already, just being able to pull this all together and have my friends here and everyone be as stoked as they were. And it's icing on the cake to walk away with the win.
Congratulations. Back to you, Salema.
Congratulations to Tyler Bereman on his win, and Colby Raha and Cole Seeley for rounding out the podium. And the journeyman Ryan Sipes, always up for a challenge on 2 wheels, coming in for an impressive 4th place. Risk versus reward. Taking a risk on building a course of this magnitude and the reward of seeing the final product. Then the subsequent risk of actually riding it and executing the progression that one envisioned and able to do so safely. Along with Jason Baker and an incredible support staff, Tyler Bereman did just that. From a vision to a session with friends to the final competition. After his first run, he needed to try and figure out how to one-up Colby Raha, so he studied his position, adjusted himself in the transitions in his second run, and delivers a 97 out of 100 points. Of course, he gets our signature moment. Once again, thank you for hanging out with us today in Kansas. On behalf of our entire crew, including Jack Nichols, Grant Langston, and the legend Tina Dixon, my name is Salema Masekela, and I will see you next time.